Artists, storytellers, beatmakers, these are the latest news, deals, and free plugins from the music production world. One of my favorite plugins just got a big update. It's now called Smooth Operator Pro, and it's from Baby Audio, and I use it all the time. If you've ever worked on a vocal, a synth, or really any sound and thought, why doesn't this sound right? You're not alone. That's where plugins like this come in. Smooth Operator Pro helps clean up muddy parts of your mix and gets rid of harsh sounds and makes space for important instruments without messing up the feel of your track. So how does this work? You choose the shape you want your sound to follow, called a target curve, and then you pull down the main knob called the threshold. That tells the plugin when to start cleaning things up. It listens to your audio in real time and fixes little problems as it goes. It's kind of like having a super smart EQ and compressor working together, but without sounding harsh or overdone. The new Pro version adds a lot more control. Now you can change how each part of the sound reacts. For example, if a cymbal on the left is too sharp, you can fix that without changing the rest of your mix. I've used this plugin on vocals, instruments, even for full mixes, and it really helps smooth everything out. If you've heard of Soothe 2 or Gullfoss, Smooth Operator Pro is in the same group, but it gives you more control than Gullfoss, and it feels easier to learn than Soothe. For beginners especially, this one makes more sense. And when I need a quick fix, it's usually the one I reach for. The $79 price is a limited time deal, so if you're thinking about trying it, now's a good time. I'll drop my link below. If you use it, it helps support this channel and doesn't cost you anything extra. Question of the week. If you could use one plugin to clean up your mix, EQ, compressor, de-esser, whatever, what would it be? Not your favorite plugin, the only one. Leave it in the comments below. I'm really curious to see what everyone's go-to is. All right, I'm so glad this happened because when they released this keyboard, I was actually disappointed. Native Instruments just rolled out a major firmware update for the S-Series Mark III keyboards. And if you're already using one of those keyboards or thinking about it, listen up. Version 1.9.4 adds a fully standalone arpeggiator and note repeat engine. That means you can now use ARPs, scale modes, chords, and rhythmic effects directly from the keyboard without even opening the complete control software. This brings the play assist features full circle. You could already access scale and chord modes without launching a DAW, but now with the new ARP and note repeat added to standalone mode, the keyboard feels way more like a real instrument and what the Mark III keyboard should have been at launch. So you can plug it into your hardware synth or computer and you've got an all-in-one control surface with all those tools right out of the box. You can also use both the USB and the 5-pin MIDI outs at the same time. That means, for example, you could be sending chords to a DAW plugin while triggering an arpeggiator pattern on a hardware synth. And the new routing menu lets you customize exactly what signal goes where, so your NKS plugins and hardware stay in sync. It's also now possible to sync MIDI tempo to whatever you've got plugged in, so if you've got an external groove box or drum machine, the Control S Mark III can keep your patterns tight without extra setup. I think this update moves the Control S Mark III closer to the level of keyboards like the Arturia Keylab. The update is free and available now through the Native Access app. Let's talk about a new plugin that's not afraid to get weird. Cut Classic just released High Flyer, and if you're into psychedelic textures, analog phasers, or just want to add some movement and mystery to your mix, this is worth a look. And wait till you hear the Endless feature. It's really cool. Now, when you first look at this, it's a dual stage phaser, so you're getting swirling phase effects, kind of like something from the 70s. Think Pink Floyd, Jimi Hendrix, but High Flyer goes beyond that. You also get a lo-fi section with analog style preamped warmth and even an 8-bit sampler mode. There's a resampler built in along with a saturator, which makes this thing feel more like a sound design tool rather than just a phaser. And this is where High Flyer leans into psychoacoustics. There's a parameter called Endless that creates shepherd tone style illusions. You know, that never-ending rise or fall in pitch. You've also got tempo-synced LFOs, envelope following, and randomization for evolving modulation. There are other vintage phasers out there like the Soundtoys Phase Mistress or UAD's MXR Phaser, but I think Hi-Flyer adds some modern modulation, resampling, and stereo effects that those don't have. Rhodes just unveiled the Stage 61, and it might be the closest thing we've seen to a portable version of their electric piano. And yes, I played this one at NAMM, but is it actually worth $6,000? This is a real electromechanical tined piano. It's not a digital emulation. It has the same components as their much more expensive Mark 8, but in a lighter, more compact 61-key design. It weighs 59 pounds, which is pretty easy to move compared to the 73 or 88 old models, and everything from the tines and pickups to the action and hammer tips is directly taken from the Mark 8. You're still getting that Rhodes tone, but with a scaled-down, stage-friendly layout. The circuitry is completely passive, just volume and tone knobs, just like the original Rhodes stage model, so you don't even need power. Just plug it into an amp or interface and play. Now, obviously this won't be for everyone. It's priced at around $6,500, so we're kind of talking about boutique gear here. But if you're a serious player, a Rhodes musician, or a Rhodes collector, this is a more portable, stripped-down way to get the real deal Rhodes feel. I will say that when I tried this out at NAMM, it definitely didn't feel as premium as the full-size Mark 8, but I think that's necessary to make it easy to move around. You know, I really thought they'd give us an affordable Rhodes by now. I don't think this is it, yet. I guess we'll just mess around with the plugin until then. Would you want a real Rhodes, an affordable version? How much would you pay for it? Comment below. Speaking of interesting keyboards, here's something you don't see every day. A real acoustic piano that you can fit in your car. This is the Keybird L1, and it's one of the smallest, most portable acoustic pianos on the market. It has 49 keys, so 4 octaves, and it weighs just 39 kilograms or around 86 pounds. That's lighter than many stage keyboards. And yes, this is a real acoustic instrument with hammers, strings, and all the mechanical stuff that digital keyboards try to simulate. The team behind Keybird designed this specifically for small apartments, mobile musicians, or anyone who just wants a small, light piano. The L1 is actually modular. It separates into 2 parts, a sound body and a key bed, so you can transport it more easily. It also connects via USB-C as a MIDI controller and includes a silent mode so you can play without hammering the strings. It's really nice for late night practice sessions. What's really interesting is the sound. It's got this warm, mellow tone that kind of sits somewhere between a felt upright and a true grand piano. It's not super bright. There's actually a felt upgrade that adds more warmth and responsiveness without reducing mechanical noise. The L1 is currently available through a Kickstarter campaign with early bird pricing for backers. There's also a version that includes MIDI output if you want to use it as a controller for composing in your DAW. I really want one of these, but something tells me I may miss some of the high and low notes. I don't know. Would you? Comment below. Native Instruments just released Electric Keys Reeds Duo. And if you like the sound of some classic Wurlitzers, you might like this. This is a $149 instrument collection that gives you 2 vintage-style electric pianos, Jade and Ivory. These aren't the tine-based pianos like a Rhodes. These are reed-based, which means you get a different character. They've got the growly, responsive sound that can go from warm to gritty depending on how you play. Jade is the more solid state, funky, punchy one. It's great for tight rhythmic sounds and presence. Think Stevie Wonder early tones. Ivory, on the other hand, is a tube-driven and much more mellow-sounding one. It's kind of smoky and soulful. These are not just sample packs, they respond dynamically to your playing, and you can shape them with creative tools like tonal shift, tube and amp saturation, etc. You can buy Jade and Ivory separately, but getting both in the Reeds Duo bundle saves you 25%, which makes it a decent deal if you want this type of sound. Link is below. Spitfire Audio has just released the BBC Radiophonic Workshop, and it brings sounds from the interesting and strange world of early electronic music. Think of the music from Doctor Who, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, or classic BBC sci-fi scores. This is the sound behind all of that. You get over 1,000 unique sounds, vintage synth patches, reel-to-reel tape loops, processed found objects, and new performances from composers like Peter Howell, Paddy Kingsland, and Mark Ayres. The whole library runs in Spitfire's Solar engine, so you can stretch, morph, and blend those sounds into something completely new if you want. I think this is something really cool because it gives you access to literal music history. It's priced at $199, and if you're scoring for film or working on a sci-fi project or something, this might give you a sound you're looking for. All right, deals. Here are some that I'd actually consider for myself. Thomann is having their Easter sale right now. Lots of deals that you shouldn't miss for sure. I'll add a direct link to it below the video. Here's a big one. SSL's Native Essentials bundle is 91% off, and you get both their Channel Strip 2 and Bus Compressor 2 plugins. And if you want their drum strip, it's just $20. There's a nice deal on the LX480 Essentials Reverb. I highly recommend it. It's 50% off right now. And if you buy anything from Plugin Boutique, you get the mock synth for free until the end of this month. Native Instruments has a deal right now, 5 expansions for $55. For hardware deals, the MPC Live 2 is $300 off right now. The brand new S-Series keyboard from Native Instruments is $100 off. And the headphones that topped my latest open back headphones video are on sale as well. By the way, don't miss out on that video. You can watch it right here. All these deals are linked below the video. All right, I've got one more news story and a bunch of free plugins for you today. But before we get to that, are you thinking about putting your music out there? Well, DistroKid is a simple and fast way to get your music onto Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Pandora, pretty much everywhere. And DistroKid collects earnings for you when anyone plays or purchases your music. It's simple to use and includes tools to help you build your audience. I've created 2 videos on DistroKid that will probably answer any questions you have. You can watch them here, and if you're ready to sign up, use the link below to get 7% off your first year of membership. All right, iZotope just released a new reverb plugin called Equinox, and it's got some cool features for both music and sound design. It takes the best parts of 2 older reverbs, Stratus and Symphony by Exponential Audio, and it combines these into one tool. So you can make your sound feel like they're in a real space, like a big hall or small room. And you can make things sound spacey and weird if you want. What's really interesting about Equinox is that it uses something called adaptive unmasking. That means it knows how to keep your vocals or lead sounds clear even when you add a lot of reverb behind them. It's kind of like making space in your mix automatically, which is really helpful. If you've used iZotope's NeoVerb before, I think Equinox goes much deeper. NeoVerb is fast and easy, but Equinox gives you more control. There's also over 1,200 presets, which is crazy. All right, here's your free plugins alert, and this one's kind of a goodbye. Dear Reality's entire plugin lineup is now free until July 31st. That includes immersive audio tools like Dear VR Pro 2, Exoverb, Dear VR Mix, and even some resynthesis and ambisonic plugins. These were part of what Sennheiser was pushing for immersive audio, but they're discontinuing the Dear Reality brand and folding everything into their bigger audio division. So the plugins are going away, but right now you can grab most of them totally free. Even if you're not doing spatial or VR mixing, there are some great stereo reverbs in here. Links to everything in this video are below. If you want one more free download, get my free ebook below for some incredibly useful tips on setting up your home studio. My recommendations to optimize your space and workflow. Get it right below this video. Keep making the music you love, and I'll see you later.